Oh, g'day,
Chuggers!
Kia ora koutou. Welcome, no mai haere mai, ki te Muso Mance's lair. You don't want to do a lot of thinking while you're playing, right? Thinking just slows you down. And I think that's true of most things in life. I don't really, I just thought I'd say that. But when I first started learning the old guitarra, my good friend Stove from Simnock on Steel, awesome band, you should check them out. Yeah, we were just kids. But he wrote me down on the back of an envelope, I've probably still got it somewhere, all the notes on this big thick string here. And I know we did drop D last time, but we're not dropping it. We're not dropping it today. I'm just sticking with standard people tuning. The big thick E string. So it's like E, F, F and a half, G, G and a half, etc. So I didn't know any chords. So he just said, if you can just add 2. If you can add 2 to a number, then you can learn enough chords to play a song in a way in which I will show you. And luckily I could add 2. So if this is, that's the open string, let's hear it. There it is, nice little E. On the next fattest string, which is the A string, you don't even really need to know that. You just need to know add 2 from, so that's 0, open, 0. On the next fattest string, add 2 frets, so that's 2. 2 plus 0 is 2. So I'm going to go 2nd fret on the A string, open on the E string, but I'm only talking about these 2 E and A strings for now. Fattest one, next fattest one. Play them both at the same time. That is what I like to call an E power chord. Power chord is also something you use to plug in your amplifier, so it's a very important concept. 2 different concepts, same name. This time we're just talking about chords you play on guitar. So then if I'm playing an F, that's on the 1st fret, so get yourself an old envelope and write down the names of all the notes on that string. F is on the 1st fret of the E string, so I'll add 2 to number 1. Add 2 to 1 gives you, go on. Yeah, go on, 2 plus 1. Come on. I'll just tell you, it's 3. So 3rd fret of the A string. When you're on the 1st fret of the E string, add 2, 3rd fret of the A string. That's an F power chord. You can chug it, make it chunkier, do a bit of palm chugging muting, put a bit of gain on it, and now you're Metallica. So a lot of people put down these kind of chords, but actually, do they? I don't know. I think I might have just made that up. Okay, they're called power chords. They don't have a, well, I call them that. They don't have a, what's that thing called? A third note in them. So they can be major or minor. So you don't have to worry about a lot of that stuff. Is it major or minor? Just copy the bass player. He don't know either probably. And just, it's not true. Bass players are clever. I actually played the bass for as long as I've played the guitar. Not at the same time, obviously. Not at the same time, but for as long as. So now you've got all these chords. They're not very complex chords, but they're great for
Chugging on.
which is why a lot of metal and rock bands use these chords. And you can use the same concept on the next string up if you want to get extra clever. On the A string, if I play open A, that's a 0, open. On the D string, I'll add 2, so 2nd fret of the D string. And now I can follow the notes on the A string up. You might need another envelope to write down the notes on the A string. So here's a C, a D, alright? But what we're actually learning is the very, very basics of the caged system. C-A-G-E-D. This is the E, let's say we take an E chord, This is just the stumpiest parts of the E chord. Right? We're not putting in the other fingers. We're only using those two chunkiest strings. But that's actually the bottom of an E chord, or the top, depending on where you're looking from. Looks like the top to me. So I'm moving that E, and that's where we get bar chords from. You can take that E bar at the first fret and play that same shape, and that's an F. Or you can just forget about all the fancy stuff and just play those two strings like I just told you. But actually, it's just the bottom of a full F chord, or a G, A. So that's what blew my mind when I first heard about the caged system. It actually helped me to learn the notes on the rest of the fretboard, and I'm going to tell you more about that next time. But just for now, know that you can move the chord shapes of C chord, A chord, G chord, E chord and D chord all the way around the fretboard. And all those fancy players you've been seeing who know the C sus7 plus 8, 9, 10s, they're basically just moving the same basic shapes that you possibly already know around the fretboard. Okay, so we're just going to start with the most basicest. I know that's not grammatically correct, icons, but hey, we're rocking. But for now, yeah, if you could start with the two notes, and then maybe if you want to do that on the A string as well, you're allowed to. I mean, you can. What am I going to do? I'm locked down at home. I'm not going to come around to your house, knock on the door and say, hey, slow it down, Chug. But yeah, and then if you want to, you can try barring. So I'm barring my finger across. In this case, I want to play a G chord using the E shape. I'm going to bar across every note, every string on the 3rd fret. Which, as an old jazz guy told me once, Brian Gibbs, that's actually a chord in itself. Getting carried away now, another time. But now I'm going to make the E shape with the rest of my fingers here. And I've got a G major. So start with the 2 strings, and then you can add in the rest of the notes if you feel like it. Probably could have tuned up a little better. That's not bad. I'm going to stop now and tune up. And you know what I say? Don't tune up at full volume. Tune the volume down. Alright, this is the exciting part of the video, alright? Don't skip to another channel while I'm doing this. This is exciting. Right. It's quite gainy, isn't it? Check this out. I mean, hold on to your pants, because this is going to blow your mind. But if I want to make that an A minor, I'm going to take that finger off there. And that's why a lot of guitar players look a little bit rude sometimes. They're not being rude, they're just saying, I'm playing a minor chord, I don't need that finger on the fretboard right now. A minor is probably one of the most satisfying chords you will ever learn, and there are various shapes to play it in on the different parts of the fretboard, and I'm going to show you because I'm your friend. Don't forget that. I was here before all them other people. I've been here for you from day one. Hey. So it's so good to have you along on this musomancical journey. But these chords, what I like to call the power chords, are really good for chugging on.
Chug you later.